The beginning of the world. Questions. Genesis doesn't answer. In the very first chapter of Genesis, we read one of the most famous lines in history. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. For billions of people, these words explain how everything began. But what if the most interesting questions are the ones the text doesn't answer? Today, we're not asking whether Genesis is true or false. We're asking what questions naturally arise when we read it critically. Let's begin. Genesis says that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But this raises an immediate question. If God created the heavens, where was God before heaven existed? Did God exist outside of space and time? Was there another kind of reality? Or is the question itself meaningless because time, as we understand it, began only when creation began? Different religious traditions and philosophers have answered this in different ways, and there is no universal agreement. Genesis describes God creating light, the sky, land, plants, stars, animals, and finally human beings. The account is orderly and purposeful. But another question emerges. Why did an all-powerful God create anything at all? If God is complete and lacks nothing, what was the purpose of creating a universe? Was creation an act of love, a desire for relationship, or something beyond human understanding? The text itself doesn't fully explain God's motivation, leaving room for centuries of interpretation and debate. Then comes one of the most discussed verses in the Bible. Let us make mankind in our image. What does it mean to be made in God's image? Does it refer to physical appearance? Most religious scholars say no. Instead, many interpret it as referring to qualities such as reason, creativity, morality, or the ability to make choices. But this raises another difficult question. If humans reflect God's image, why are humans capable of cruelty, hatred, jealousy, and violence? Did those traits come from human free will, or are they somehow connected to the nature of being made in God's image? Religious traditions offer different answers, and many reject the idea that human wrongdoing reflects God's character. Another question follows naturally. If people can love, forgive, become angry, celebrate, grieve, and judge, does God experience these things too? The Bible often describes God using human emotions and actions. Some believers understand these descriptions literally. Others see them as symbolic language designed to help humans understand something beyond human experience. Again, interpretations differ. Genesis also presents creation over 6 days. Should these days be understood as 24-hour periods? Or could they represent much longer ages? Some people read the account literally. Others see it as poetic or symbolic. Meanwhile, modern cosmology describes the universe beginning around 13.8 billion years ago with the Big Bang, followed by the formation of stars, planets, and eventually life through natural processes. For some, these scientific explanations conflict with Genesis. For others, they can coexist. Perhaps the greatest question isn't how the universe began. It's why humans have always searched for an explanation. Every civilization has developed stories, philosophies, or scientific theories about our origins. Maybe our search for beginnings tells us something profound about human curiosity itself. Whether you believe Genesis is literal history, symbolic theology, or something else entirely, its opening chapter continues to inspire questions that have challenged humanity for thousands of years. And perhaps that's its greatest power, not that it ends the conversation, but that it begins one. So what do you think? If God created the heavens and the earth, where was God before creation? What does it really mean to be made in God's image? Share your perspective in the comments, and let's keep the discussion respectful.